Okay, so it seems like Hololive has been called out recently for some pretty interesting stuff that's happened over at their concert. Now, obviously, a lot of people don't want this to turn into a big drama or whatever, and I can totally understand that, as it seems like it probably wasn't even Hololive's intention for this to even happen. But if you don't know, they've recently been doing a concert, and it's been great. And this is only a free preview, so I can actually find the clip of it in here. But essentially, they've been called out by one person over on Twitter. I say called out, obviously, someone noticed something over on Twitter, and essentially they were talking about the background in the concert itself. And this is the background. Now you can see it looks pretty normal until you start looking into it, and obviously a lot of people are suspecting that they have been using AI to actually create their backgrounds. Now, at the end of the day, for backgrounds, I don't think it's really that big of a deal, in my personal opinion. Obviously, yes, if it was like something like a VTuber model, something like that generated by AI, then sure, then it would be a problem. But backgrounds, yes, they could have used a real artist, and I think, it would have been better if they did. But it seems like in this case, they have used AI in the background. A lot of reasons for this. You can see how kind of mushy a lot of this background is, including a lot of the text on that. I think that's a bin. I can't even tell what that is. So again, you can clearly tell that there has been some AI used here, and you can even tell by the text being all smushy and not really having any kind of coherent meaning. Obviously being the case, and obviously being a problem that some people have had with the concert. Now, obviously, this person puts here generative AI in front of my myth and using it as the background of the artist of Hololive, such a disrespect. And obviously that is 100% true, because they are doing it in front of the artist of Hololive, which is pretty crazy. But they're saying stuff like this. The obvious signs in the text doesn't make sense at all, which obviously is 100% true. And I don't think anybody is kind of refuting the fact that there is AI being used in the background. But they also go on to say, don't forget there is still day 2. I know a lot of people are disappointed, myself included, but let's keep our spirits up and cheer for the girls. They worked so hard for this concert. This just might be an honest mistake from Cover to not properly checking their third-party works, which, could 100% be true. And obviously, as they say, there is another day, of the concert. So hopefully, obviously that doesn't contain any more of this. And hopefully this is just a mistake made by Cover, that, they just outsourced maybe some artwork to do for the background. Obviously they probably use a lot of outside artists, and they're like, hey, can you make a background for our concert? Can you make it like this? And obviously they went, yeah, sure, thinking that they were some real artist, and then they went ahead and submitted some kind of AI generated thing, which obviously maybe Cover didn't really realize, and that's how we've ended up with this to this day. But also, I think there's many different factors as well. Some people are saying like, oh, they did it on purpose and stuff like that, which I don't think they did. There's other kind of factors which I do want to bring into this a little bit later on. Obviously, they're saying I didn't expect this to blow up. If this is going to blow up, at least I'm going to post it after day 2. I'm just mad about disrespecting my Kamiyoshi, since she's very serious about her art and makes her own animations for her MV, which, as you can see here, Moikalapi is uses a lot of art and stuff in their own kind of music videos, and there's a lot of people as well saying this looks like the stuff I used to draw in my school notebook when I was in high school trying to draw Japanese characters, but still didn't and still don't. No Japanese, so I'm making it up, aka it looks bad. They said, I thought I saw some AI scuff in the background, I hate that so much. Said, me too, I'm putting it behind the myth. Said I noticed this during the live too, kind of disappointed, and I was hyped when Myth appeared too. They said in front of the great artists who made a lot of amazing art, in front of Kali, the great animator who's made a lot of animations using her own art, in front of Kiara. Well, she's not that known for her art, but she does she does work hard in some amazing art streams. Obviously people saying, I thought it looked terrible, taking a closer look, damn. Check the credit scenes, it was a third-party job, if I'm not wrong. It said it was a third-party job, but it still covers responsibility to choose and obviously to check that, they are trustworthy, which is 100% true. And I'm glad that they are, holding them accountable. And it is very disappointing to see that this has been used in the background. But obviously, a lot of more people have been talking about this as well, including Chris, the Holosim, essentially saying that this seems like a genuine mistake, as this is the only background that was AI generated. Nevertheless, we should send concerns to Cover, though, the survey, and be civil about it, through the survey, sorry, and be civil about it. being angry and downplaying the concert and everyone's hard work for this mistake is not worth it, which is 100% true. You know, I don't think this whole concert should be written off due to the fact that they had a AI generated background. I think a lot of the work that the VTubers have put in, obviously the VTubers have no say behind what actually goes on at the concert itself, and it's just very disappointing that it, you know, did happen. And obviously a lot of the you know, a lot of them have been kind of put in front of this background, which, yeah, can be pretty awkward for some people. And obviously they're saying, reminder that Cover has made a policy explicitly told people not to include AI in their official art tags. Cover, as far as we know, is pretty much anti-AI, at least in terms of art. So acting like Cover has been pro-AI and intentionally uses it is disingenuous and will not help anyone. And yeah, obviously that is 100% true. You know, that is a very good, important point to bring up. It's the fact that, you know, Hololive and Cover, you know, do not, you know, support AI art, at least in fan art. So, you know, for them to use it in the background of a concert just doesn't seem very likely. You know, it doesn't seem like, you know, they'd be very against it in fan art, but then be very pro it in a concert, which obviously, you know, draws me more towards like a big accident and a big mistake, which they've made, which obviously, you know, will anger a lot of people out there who don't have the full context behind it. So obviously that's why I'm making this video. But obviously, you know, there's going to still be a lot of people that don't see it and will, you know, not be very happy with Hololive. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's really their fault, apart from the fact that they didn't check it or that they didn't check it good enough. Because again, you know, that is an extremely bad slip up. I mean, you know, obviously putting AI generated backgrounds behind them, I feel like that is a pretty big miss, especially if they didn't really check it. You know, obviously Azahara here saying, honestly, who the hell cares? This is such a current issue to try and screw in a company just because of one image in the background for one song. There might be a photo with an AI filter, which obviously, yeah, that could also be true. An AI filter has also been an addition to something that people have brought up as well. This might be a genuine image that has that is real, and maybe they've used some kind of AI upscaling, AI filter, whatever, to try and make it look better or more cartoony or whatever, and it's just ended up looking like this, which also could be the case. It might not be entirely AI generated. Potentially they you know, took a photo of it and then wanted to turn it into a more animated style to fit obviously the style of the VTubers themselves, and that could also be the case. So again, it's very interesting, and obviously there's many different reasons that could be behind this. You know, people saying, I can't find it now, but if I remember correctly, it's not the first time that they used AI slot for a background. Is that I'm waiting to pass judgment until we get more info. Not going to chuck unwarranted blame on anyone, AI or not. It was an awesome show, and I'm not going to screw all of that over just because of what could be ultimately a mistake, which is 100% true. You know, people saying, I don't like AI art, but I really think the people blowing this out of proportion are more annoying than Cover's mistake. These quotes are unbearable. I really hope that the talents don't get demotivated because of it. I mean, I haven't even checked the quote retweets of this. I mean, I didn't even know that they would be that bad, but hey, let's just take a quick look. Oh, I mean, there's literally just one quote. Maybe it's due to this one. Again, I haven't seen the quote, so I don't know if people are actually that angry. If you're saying, I know it's most likely a third-party screw-up and management you're not double-checking, which, yeah, I mean, that's fair enough. If you're saying people are going to watch these girls, not the background, 100% true. You know, let's just keep going a little bit further down. You know, so I support 100% the Hololive talents, but not the company. It seems like they are using AI for the background. A company with this financial resources of Hololive shouldn't use AI for anything at all. That shows disrespect for its talents and the public. And that's 100% true if it was, you know, if they did do this on purpose. But again, there is this conversation going around that potentially it is just a mistake, and this is something that they didn't check fully. You know, people saying AI slot being used in a Hololive concert at Hololive EN, do something about this, which obviously, yeah, people are so you know, angry. Obviously got Bent. Let's just not look at Bent. We don't really need to know his opinion on that kind of stuff. You know, Azahara saying, you know, this is generally so sad, bro. You know, can you guys not use AI at all, please? We're all trying to have a great time until we saw your AI background. It's disappointing and it's a shame in front of all of them, in front of myth of all groups. Do better. So again, a lot of people just want Hololive to do better, and people saying extremely disrespectful in Hololive using AI. That I feel like this is something that we have to send directly to them. And yeah, obviously, you know, we're gonna have to wait until we see some kind of response from Hololive on whether this was on purpose or not, because again, I'm sure they could provide some clarity on it. But again, obviously, due to the secrecy of some you know, agencies out there, sometimes they won't kind of give us an update, and they will just stop doing it but not actually put out a response. because honestly, it could kind of make it worse. If you're saying the whole show is great, but this is very disappointing, if you gave an inch, they're going to take a mile. People need to screw off with the "oh, don't care" attitude. I 100% I get that, but at the same time, I think it is one of these situations where you have to see whether this is a purposeful attempt at trying to integrate AI into a concept, or if it is literally genuinely just a mistake. I think the "I don't care" attitude is fine if it is a genuine mistake and they won't do it again, right? But I think obviously, if it is a purposeful thing that they're trying to incorporate into the world, then I think it is, one of those things that you need to kind of talk about. But again, as I said, there's been many people bringing up the fact that, hey, maybe it is just a mistake, saying the anti-AI crowd continues to prove that they're some of the most insufferable people around, incapable of enjoying the moment instead of having to freak out over the most inconsequential things imaginable, which I can also understand as well. I think a lot of people should just enjoy the concert itself. But I think it is also a very valid thing for people to point out and say, hey, can we just change this for the future? And just say, hey, I'm pretty disappointed in this. Can we just change this? Because again, I think that's fair enough. I don't think there is a problem with that at all. And I think people are fully entitled to asking that to change. But if you're saying that the whole concert sucks over this, then I think you are just dumb. I think honestly, it doesn't suck over this. But again, I can understand why people will be disappointed. So yeah, let me know down in the comments if you guys, have any opinions on this, whether you think it's bad, whether you think it's good, whether you think, they should change it or whatever. Because again, I'm very interested in what you guys have to say. And I guess we do have to just wait until day 2 comes out to see if there's anything more like this kind of incorporated, or if this is just the only case. Because if this is the only case, I could 100% see this as just being a complete accident, and some artist has tried to swindle cover there by trying to incorporate AI art into their background. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kazza, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking them out. Again, they got the new V-Card stuff out at the moment, so if you guys want to get your hands on some of those, I definitely recommend using my code there, because you can get yourself some pretty major money off that. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy it, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.